What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brewery that I haven't had in a minute. I haven't had, I get a couple beers from this brewery coming through my way every once in a while, but I think the last one I had from them was a while back, probably when I first started doing reviews. So I'm pretty excited to finally drink some more of their stuff. Of course, I'm talking about Best of Hands Barrelhouse. They're out of Western Seattle, and of course you can always recognize them by the big cow on the top of their building. That's how they're always recognized. So it's a little tiny brewery over in Western Seattle, and I'm a really big fan of Washington beers. It's kind of like one of my favorite states to go to when it comes to talking about craft beer, because their craft beer community over there is just outstanding. So I'm really excited to give this one a try, because today we're going to be taking a look at the Wordless Chorus. Like, in my opinion, it's a sessionable IPA, but it's a 6.5%. But look at that freaking can art. That can art's pretty legit. I like it. I really, really like it. So, this is a 6.5% ABV, like I said, and it's a New England-style pale ale brewed with, Citra, Amarillo, and Mosaic hops. So, with those hops being in there, of course, Citra and Mosaic are always really good combinations of hops to use together, but adding Amarillo in there to kind of bring in more of maybe a little bit more tropical fruit, along with a nice piney, danky cannabis like hoppiness to it. So I'm really excited to try this one out. It's a nice sessionable one. Of course, it's perfect for a Thursday, because you guys know what we usually do over here on Thursdays. But yeah, I'm pretty damn excited to drink this one. So I'm gonna expect really kind of citrusy, piney notes, maybe a little bit of tropical fruit, maybe I don't want to say maybe guava or kind of pineapple-y kind of notes, but of course I want to get some nice, dank, hoppy flavors in this as well, and I'm hoping it lives up to all of that. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what this thing's all about. So let's see what this thing's like on the smell. Oh yeah, really citrusy right off the bat. Getting a lot of like kind of grapefruity citrusiness. Smells kind of light on the nose. Definitely more citrus forward. Not really getting much of like a dank hoppiness on the nose. But yeah, it smells smooth, and it just... I'm expecting a really nice pillowy mouthfeel with this. It's not going to be like the orange juicy, like really darker kind of haze. It's probably going to be like more of that kind of brighter yellow kind of haze color to it. So without further ado, let's pour this guy into a glass. Going to be drinking out of my untapped pint glass this afternoon. Let's see how this pours. Yeah, nice fluffy pillowy head already. Getting like more of a crisp kind of yellow color to the haze. But a pretty good head on this one. I'm surprised this actually has as much head as it does. But that's okay. Whatever. Sometimes a little bit of head is fine. But yeah, look at that. That definitely has more of like, kind of like a little bit of like a golden color, but definitely, in my opinion, has more of that kind of like lighter kind of colors to it. I know it kind of looks darker on camera. There's a lot of carbonation to this one. Definitely really bubbly going in there. Has a nice kind of soft, pillowy white head. Definitely still getting a lot. I'm actually, okay, now that I poured it, I'm definitely getting notes of like tropical fruit notes, maybe pineapple, mango, maybe like papaya or guava in there. Definitely, I feel like this is going to be like a pillowy soft, like drinking a cloud. So I'm pretty excited. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Happy Thursday. Okay, there's that hoppy bite that I was looking for. So you kind of like... The moment you take it in, you get the citrusy notes, but then that hoppy bite like kind of pinches you in the throat as you're drinking it. For it only being a 6.5%, the hoppiness in this one is pretty predominant, and it's actually really freaking delicious. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good. Of course, I'm getting like a lot of like dank hoppy notes. Like definitely, there's cannabis characteristics in this one, so definitely. But there's also like a funk in there, so I'm maybe assuming there's high amounts of like those guava, papaya flavors in there, because those kind of give in more of like a funkiness to it. But overall, yeah, the balance between the Mosaic Citra and the Amarillo is working really, really well. Has a nice kind of pillowy soft mouthfeel. It's like a mix between pillowy soft mouthfeel and like a nice effervescence in there because of the carbonation. It's a pretty bubbly kind of IPA. But overall, yeah, it's absolutely delicious. Oh yeah, that is smooth. But definitely more of a bubblier IPA. I was expecting more of like a creamy kind of silkiness to this, but not bad. Not bad at all. So, Kentucky, yeah. Hope your surgery went well, my friend. Hopefully you have a quick recovery, and I'll make sure to have some beers on for you these couple weeks. So, looking at Untapped here and seeing like kind of what their description and stuff that they show out here. So it's like I said, it's a 6.5% ABV. 40 IBUs, which is not really too high. There's definitely it's definitely up there on like having a hoppy bitterness to it, so that's really nice to it. And then with only 584 ratings, this one is an average rating of 3.94 out of 5, which isn't bad. From what I'm tasting about it, I'm surprised the rating's not higher, to be honest. So looking at onto the side of the page here, if you ever go onto Untapped, and it shows on the side, it shows loyal drinkers or people who are usually drinking a lot of stuff from Best of Hands. But they also show similar beers to this. So if you can't get your hands on this one, if any of these that I'm going to name is close to you, might have a similar experience. So there's one called the Nubinski from Resurgence Brewing Company. That's similar. Let's see, we got Savaria Kill Brew, which with their Revenge at New England. Let's see, we got the Stolen Star from Undertap Brewing Co. Ultras Drogas from Nave. I wonder if that's maybe like a European brewery. And then they have Pansio No Lago from Undertap Brewing Co. So, yeah, if any of those sound familiar to you and you want to kind of get to like similar flavor profiles and kind of seeing if they might have something similar to lists, yeah, you can check those ones out yourself. But let's look at some ratings here on Untapped. First, I always like checking because I know my dad drank this one already, so let's see what he checked this one in at. So he put the purchase location at Tavor, which is where I got this one, and he gave it a 4 out of 5. So that's pretty damn good. I'm going to be pretty close to around that same rating as well. So looking at the global ratings again. So Let's see. This guy gave it a 4.25. Purchased it. It doesn't say where he purchased it. This guy gave it a 3.75. Got it off Tavor. This guy gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Purchased from Tavor. Let's see. 3.75 saying nice and solid with decent hoppiness, bitter grapefruit peel, and some pine in the finish. Definitely getting those strong citrusy notes, so I definitely agree with him when it comes to, like, it's more of a grapefruity citrus, but then, yeah, that's a nice piney hoppiness that kind of kicks you in the throat. It's not at the end for me. It kind of catches you with that hoppy bite in the beginning, which it's like a mix between that citrusy kind of nice hoppy flavor along with that kind of that bite to where you feel it in your throat right afterwards. And I think it balances really well. It's kind of like from the usual order of what I'm used to tasting when it comes to hoppy flavors, having that hop bite hit you in front is a kind of a nice change of pace. It doesn't really happen that often to where that's the first thing that's hitting your palate. So that's really nice that they did it this way. But overall, yeah, this is absolutely delicious. Loving that pillowy soft mouthfeel too. It's definitely a mix between pillowy soft mouthfeel and like kind of like a little bit of bubbly effervescence. So let's see, we got another 3.75. Let's see, another 3.75. Both purchased from Tavor. Another Tavor gave another 3.75. 4 out of 5 purchased from Tavor. So yeah, between like I would say between the 3.75 and the 4 range is where you're going to be seeing this one for check-ins and what people's opinions on this one are. So yeah, I think it's definitely up there in that untapped rating of maybe a 4, maybe a little bit above a 4. I think I'm going to probably have it somewhere close to a 4 when I check mine in. But let's see. Let's start looking at our ratings and seeing what the hell we're going to do about this one. So, of course, you got to look at can art because that's always a factor on its own. So, can art. Yeah, I really like the can art to this one. Of course, I think having the guitar on there is a really cool touch. And they kind of used like the color of the wood on the kind of the bottom of the guitar to kind of emphasize those colors in the background. Having that kind of like woody finish to it. Having like those coppery kind of colors along with like a little brighter colors. Which I think is a really nice touch. Kind of definitely is something that would catch your attention at a liquor store or a bottle shop for sure. Actually, now that I realized it, before we do this rating, I didn't actually read the description of this beer. Which I probably should have done, but okay, that's fine. So looking at the description up here, the description of this one is featuring Citra Mosaic and Amarillo hops. The beer displays tropical aromas of papaya and guava, flaked oats, which is probably helping give it that pillowy mouthfeel, and wheat make for a pillowy, smooth body loaded with juicy notes of guava and some cannabis-like dankness. Semi-sweet cereal grain enters mid-palate with a hint of vanilla. Resin and pine help dry out the bitter-sweet finish. I gotta agree with that one. There definitely is like a slight sweetness in there, but I don't see it as like a vanilla-y sweetness, or like a sweet cereal grain kind of sweetness to it. But I'm definitely getting more of those like tropical fruit, danky, and like definitely having like with the papaya flavors and the guava flavors giving it like a little bit of a funk in there. I think that might be kind of bringing in the same elements of like that cannabis dankness along with it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. I really like the flavors I'm getting. The different kind of order that the flavors are hitting me is what I really enjoy about this one. But going back to what we're going to be doing about ratings on this one, because that's why we're here practically. So let's see. Can art, I already kind of talked about it. I really like the can art. Definitely something that would catch my attention at a liquor store or bottle shop if I saw this there. Of course, the Best of Hands logo that just shows up on the side, I think is just really classy. Of course, Best of Hands, Craft Brewery, and Barrelhouse. And of course, it's not a Best of Hands beer without the little cow on the top. It's their logo. So if you're ever in Western Seattle and if you're looking to try out some Best of Hands stuff, of course you can go to the brewery. Just kind of go to Western Seattle and search for the building with the cow on top of it. That's my best way to describe. Or you can just GPS it and do it that way. But that's going to be if like you're going by symbols and looking where do you see if you can find it. Just look for the building with the cow. So I think that's a real nice touch to it. But yeah, really, really solid. And being like a big music fan that I am, having something with music related stuff on there I think is just pretty damn sweet. So having the kind of like rock star guitar on there, of course. Having the name of the beer going down the side of it, so that's really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a solid like 4.5 out of 5 for can art. Really, really nice. I'm a really big fan of this one. I would have liked to see a little bit more of like the colors, so like that coppery colors kind of show up on the sides a little bit more instead of it kind of darkening out. Kind of emphasizing, showing that like behind there is like the same color wood as is on the bottom of the guitar. So, but overall, yeah, still really, really solid. Really, really solid. So, let's see. If I got this beer in a flight at Best of Hands, would I get another one? To be honest, absolutely. This is a great change of pace than my normal style of a sessionable IPA. The hoppy dankness hitting you up front first, and then kind of having that kind of citrusy, grapefruity note coming there along with it to kind of make it a nice, like, smooth experience, and then kind of at the end having that kind of more of that dank, more of like that hop, like kind of papaya guava funk in there that kind of adds into that cannabis like dankness. I think it's just really well balanced. It's really well made, and just, yeah, absolutely delicious. Really, really big fan. I'd probably get a 4-pack to bring home with this one, not gonna lie, because for having a lower ABV and just having a nice sessionable IPA just to crush every once in a while during a hot day, yeah, this is definitely probably one of the better lower edge ABV IPAs that I've had. So let's start thinking about what we're going to do for final ratings on this one. So unfortunately, this one isn't available at the tap house before we get into what my rating's going to be. They definitely have some other pale ales, some IPAs available over at Best of Hands, but you might still be able to find this one at maybe a liquor store or a bottle shop in that area if it's still available. Or you can find some more stuff from Best of Hands on Tavour. Always going to recommend Tavour as a great kind of platform when it comes to ordering beer, using it as a beer subscription service. It's pretty much a really great just thing to use. Of course, yep, right on the bottom of the website right here it says get our beers on Tavour, which I know Tavour is a little bit pick and choosy on when, like, if stuff can be delivered to you. My best kind of advice with that is just download the app, put in your zip code, and they'll tell you right away if you can get stuff shipped to you. I know people in the DC area, northwest suburbs of Illinois, Dallas, probably in California, I'm assuming maybe in probably Washington State, since that's where Tavour is based out of. You can get stuff delivered to you from them, so it's kind of just my recommendation if wanting to try out Tavour is just download the app, put in the zip code, and just see if it works. See if it works for you, and if you can do it, I highly recommend it, because it's just beers are really well priced on there. Flat rate shipping, no matter how many kind of beers you can get over like 100 beers and only have to pay $15 in shipping, which I think that just speaks wonders for the kind of company that they are, and they're just giving a good service to people. It's always delivered and handled really well by the small like courier services they decide to work with when it comes to shipping the stuff. But overall, it's just a really great experience from a really great company that I'm a big fan of. So let's get back into what my final rating on this one is going to be. Let's see. I think I'm going to give this one a very, very solid 8.5 out of 10. Really, really good. For a nice lower ABV IPA, they hit everything that I enjoy. They might be in different orders of what I enjoy in, but it's a nice change of pace of having those different flavors hit you in different ways that they normally do. Kind of creating a new experience with a kind of an easy drinking style of IPA. So having those flavors hit you in a different way is what makes it a unique beer and definitely a unique drinking experience. So I think that's where I'm leaving it. 8.5 out of 10. Really, really good. If you can get your hands on this one, if you're looking for just a nice, easy drinking, lower ABV IPA that you can just crush and just hang out and probably have like one or two more after this, you'll be perfectly good. And this is going to be a great experience for you. But overall, yeah, pretty damn solid. Big shout out to Best of Hands for coming out with this one. So we'll see if I get any other stuff from them in the future. Of course, I'll be doing reviews for their stuff if anything comes in through Tavour. But other than that, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. It would help me out greatly. And if you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It will let you know whenever I go live doing another review. And let's see. If you're looking for a social media aspect kind of beer drinking. Only website that I can recommend. It's an app, and you can get it on Android, iPhone. Get yourself on Untapped. It's a great platform. You can check in beers, get badges for the beers you check in, kind of give yourself some goals to work towards while drinking beer. I know we just got Mr. Not the Real Gerard Butler finally got himself on Untapped. So, of course, you can find people like me, Duchess, Ian, Kentucky. Now we can put Lee on there, Mr. Not the Real Gerard Butler, on that list of people you can find on Untapped. It's a really cool platform. Shoot us all friend requests. Of course, the link to my profile is down in the description below for you guys. Shoot me a friend request. I want to see what other people are drinking, and we can have little discussions about beers and all that kind of stuff. And plus, Untapped has a really cool, like, different deals. Of course, that's how I found out about Tavour, was through Untapped. So you can get different deals when it comes to different beer subscription services, or you can kind of get coupon codes every once in a while when it comes to Untapped's merch store. You can get glassware, shirts, koozies, so many different things over there. So it's kind of has everything for beer drinkers over there. It's a really cool platform. And of course, if you're looking for kind of a YouTube podcast kind of thing, Untapped also has the Drinking Socially podcast that they do. I think it's every week, at least once. You got the two guys over there doing, kind of talking about different badges weekly and kind of picking a style of beer to where they kind of tell you about that style. They're drinking something from that style as well, and they tell you how you can earn that badge. So it's a really cool little platform. I'm usually over there whenever I see one of the lives going live. So maybe you can say hi to me while I'm over there. But other than that, that is pretty much it. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. You guys are amazing. Of course, it's Thursday, so we're going to end the Thursday like we always do it. And I'm going to say it like I always say it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And let's do this, people. Cheers. See ya.